now that I have my contour line drawing for the final setup, I need to start putting the values in. And I want to do the same thing I did when I did the smaller version. Okay, this is the one I was looking at. I can see the values in there. From the angle at which I was looking, I've got to remember the smooth shading techniques and following the contours of the subject. So while I'm looking at it, I need to make sure that, as I see in here, you can see I started putting the values in based on the contour of the skull. And, of course, in here, I'm still using the side of the pencil. I've got a darker value in through here, so I'll just increase pressure. But if I look at that whole area of the skull through here, I can see that it's about a 2 and a 3, maybe a 4 in here, and I have to make sure that I remember those highlight edges. So as I put those values in, I maintain that highlight edge by putting the value up against that white edge right there. And I'm going to continue to follow the contours. I got a 1 value right in here. It's a little bit darker through here, and this darker value kind of carries all the way up through here into here. So I'm going to continue putting the values in by adding and subtracting pressure with the side of the pencil. And I got that 4 value in through here. But I need to, again, follow the contour. You can see I've got that directional shading here. It's following the contour of the skull in the back. So I'm going to continue putting that in just by adding and subtracting pressure. If I start off light, that's fine. I can start off light and then increase pressure as needed. Now, where I had that line across the cheekbone here, that line, that contour line now, I made it into a darker value line. And then I'm transitioning that 1 value out from there. So that line now became a shade. And, of course, it's going to blend in up in here when I get into this 4 value, and that transitions down to like a 4.5. But this is all going to become a 1 and then down into a 2 and 3 in that area. So that line there now is no longer a line. It's an edge of separation. Even though it looks like a darker line right there, it's a value. And I'll continue that 1 value out from that, and I have to, again, follow the contour of that part of the skull. And up against this edge, I have cast shadow underneath. So this line that 1 value is coming up against later will become a dark value, which is what I did in here. I put the 5 value up against the bottom edge of the jawline to create the edge of separation for the cast shadow on the table.
around the outer edge of the skull, where I have a highlight of the skull against a value in the background, instead of drawing a line to outline the skull itself, I'm going to use a shade in the background that matches what I see against the white surface that's behind it, and up against the edge of the skull, I'm putting in a very, very light value and then shading around so that the background creates the outline of the skull, as I did with the cast shadow.